my dear learners, for this course on turbo machines. In this module 3, we were discussing about analysis of steam turbines. So far, we have solved a problem on graphical method of analyzing a steam turbine. Let us continue our discussion on analysis of steam turbines. The problem number 2 of our discussion states that in a reaction turbine, inlet and outlet blade angles are 50 degrees and 20 degrees respectively. Steam enters at 18 degrees to the plane of the rotor wheel and leaves at 40 degrees. The rotor speed is 260 meters per second. Calculate speed ratio, specific work and degree of reaction. The question bank is attached in the link provided below this video in the description. Kindly use that link to download the question bank. For that question bank, I will be discussing the solutions. This second problem we have solved analytically in our lecture 10 of our module 2. So in today's lecture, I will be solving the same problem graphically. So when we solve this problem analytically, we are taught out of the box to solve this problem by taking the common side, that is VF1, which is a common for both smaller triangle and larger triangle, and then we have obtained the solution. But if you use graphical method, it will be very easier to solve this problem when compared to analytical method. So therefore, I always recommend students to go for graphical method of solving the problems whenever you solve problems on axial flow turbines. Of course, there will be error when compared to the analytical method. If you do meticulously using a graph sheet, then the answer might be so accurate as equal to the analytical method. So let us solve this problem graphically. If I list the data given for problem number 2 of our discussion, it states that we have a reaction turbine. The inlet and outlet blade angles are 50 degrees and 20 degrees respectively. Inlet blade angle is beta 1, exit blade angle is beta 2, which are 50 degrees and 20 degrees respectively. Steam enters at 18 degree, so alpha 1 is given as 18 degrees to the rotor wheel and leaves at 40 degrees. So therefore alpha 2 is 40 degrees. The rotor speed, that is U, is given as 260 meters per second. Calculate speed ratio U by V1, specific work, that is work done per kg, and degree of reaction. Let us solve this problem. Now, to solve this problem, let us choose scale. So we have only one velocity known, that is 260 meters per second. So if I take 1 centimeter is equal to 50 meters per second, then 260 meters per second will become 5 centimeters. So now we know the base U, we know all the angles alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, which are marked on left corner and right corner of U. So therefore, first lay down U. So if I take the scale as 1 centimeter is equal to 50 meters per second, then U measures 5.2 centimeters. So draw a line of 5.2 centimeters. Let me draw a line of 5.2 centimeters. I have drawn U to the scale, which is equal to 5.2 centimeters. So now we have alpha 1 as 18 degrees, beta 1 as 50 degrees. So therefore, mark alpha 1, draw arbitrary length line for V1. Mark beta 1 50 degrees, draw arbitrary line such that the previously drawn V1 will be intersected. The intersection point will give us this peak. Similarly, repeat for alpha 2 and beta 2. Let us do that. I should mark alpha 1 to the right corner of U. So marking alpha 1 as 18 degrees and We also have alpha 2. Alpha 2 is 40 degrees. So I mark alpha 1 and alpha 2. Similarly mark beta 1 and beta 2. You know the value of beta 1. Beta 1 is 50 degrees. So mark 50 degrees as beta 1 and beta 2 is 20 degrees. Mark 20 degrees for beta 2. Now draw arbitrary lines. So first if I draw arbitrary line for alpha 1, that is V1, whose magnitude is unknown, so therefore I am drawing an arbitrary line for an unknown length through an angle of alpha 1 which is equal to 18 degrees. Now we know beta 1 which is already marked for 50 degrees. Again if I draw an arbitrary line whose length is unknown, which is VR1, so it will intersect V1 at this point. So therefore we have obtained the peak, that is this point. So similarly we have already marked beta 1, so therefore beta 2 is already marked for an angle of 20 degrees, so therefore draw an unknown length VR2 to the angle of 20 degrees which is given to us. So extend further. Now if I draw an unknown line length for alpha 2 given as 40 degrees, it will intersect the previously drawn line. So drawn alpha 2. So if I extend VR2, so it is intersected. So this point is nothing but this peak. So we have obtained both the peaks, thereby the problem is completed. So now just I should measure and multiply the scale. If we call this as O, A, B, and now drop a vertical line to get the value of VF1 and VF2. Extending the base to the perpendicular drawn to the horizontal. So we have completed the combined velocity triangle. So we obtained, initially we have marked alpha 1, beta 1, and also we have marked beta 2 and alpha 2. These lines are intersected and obtain the peaks of this combined velocity triangle from which we have completed the drawing. So this is nothing but V1, VR2, V2, VF2, VF1 and VR1. Now C to A is VU1, similarly AE is VU2. Now if I calculate all the values of these velocities, we have V1 is equal to line length AB into scale, then VR1 is equal to line length OB into scale, then VF1 is equal to line length BC into scale, and we have VU1 which is equal to line length AC into scale. So similarly we have VR2 which is equal to line length OD into scale. We have V2 is equal to line length AD into scale, and I left out with VF2 and VU2. VF2 is line length DE into scale, and VU2 is line length AE into scale. So now if I measure AB, I will get AB as 7.5 centimeters. So therefore it is 7.5 into 50. Similarly, if I measure VR1 is 3.1 centimeters into scale is 50. Similarly, if I measure VF1 is 2.4 centimeters into scale is 50. If I measure VU1 is 7 centimeters into scale is 50. So if I measure VR2 will be 5.6 into 50, and if I measure VF2, I'll get VF2 as 3.2 into 50, and finally we have VU2 which is equal to 4.5 centimeters. 4.5 into scale is 50. So this completes the magnitude of all the velocities of our combined velocity triangle. So if we solve, we are getting the numerical values as V1 is equal to 375 meters per second, VR1 is equal to 155 meters per second, VF1 is equal to 120 meters per second, VU1 is equal to 350 meters per second, VR2 is equal to 505 meters per second, V2 is equal to 280 meters per second, VF2 is equal to 160 meters per second, and VU2 is equal to 225 meters per second. Here VU1 and VU2 are moving in opposite direction. Now let us calculate the quantities of interest what he has asked. First one is speed ratio. Speed ratio is defined as U by V1. So U is given in the data itself, which is 260 meters per second. V1 is 375. So therefore speed ratio is 0.693. Next, he has asked work done per kg. Work done per kg is equal to U of VU1 plus VU2 by GC, U is 260, VU1 is 350 plus VU2 is 225 by GC is 1. So therefore work done per kg will become 260 into 350 plus 225 divided by 1. So if we further divide by 1000, I'll get the answer as 149.5 kilojoules per kg. I am specifying in kilojoules per kg. Make a note of it. And finally, he has asked to calculate the degree of reaction. So we know that degree of reaction is static component by static plus dynamic component. That is R is equal to, in static component, U1 square minus U2 square is equal to 0 because all steam turbines are axial flow machines. U is constant. So therefore, we have relative kinetic energy component in static component of energy transfer, which is VR2 square minus VR1 square divided by 2GC. Again, we have static component VR2 square minus VR1 square plus dynamic component is V1 square minus V2 square. So if I substitute and solve the values, I will get VR2 is 505, VR1 is 155, VR2 is 505, VR1 is 155, V1 is 375 minus V2 is 280. So therefore, degree of reaction for this problem is turning out to be 505 square minus 155 square divided by 505 square minus 155 square plus 375 square minus 280 square. The degree of reaction is 0.788. So it is 78.8% degree of reaction steam turbine. So this is the solution for the second problem. The same problem we have already solved analytically in our lecture 10 of our module 2. If you want, you can refer that lecture, which is a bit difficult, but here we have solved very easily. Let me pause this video for a while so that people can copy it down. Later we will solve problem number 3. Moving ahead to solve problem number 3. Problem number 3 states that dry saturated steam at 10 atmospheric pressure is supplied to single rotor impulse wheel, the condenser pressure being 0.5 atmosphere, with the nozzle efficiency of 0.94 and nozzle angle at the rotor inlet is 18 degrees to the wheel plane. The rotor blades, which moves with a speed of 450 meters per second, are equiangular. The coefficient of velocity for the rotor blades is 0.92. Find specific power output, total rotor efficiency, stage efficiency, axial thrust and direction of exit steam. So this problem is different from the problem so far what we have solved on analysis of steam turbines or on the problems on turbines, because he has given nozzle efficiency and pressure at the inlet and exit of the nozzle. So using which I should calculate the inlet velocity of steam. To find the inlet velocity of steam, we should perform nozzle analysis, which I clearly explained in the lecture 1 of this module 3. Hope you have followed that. So let me solve this problem. If I list the data given, dry saturated steam, very important. Dry saturated steam at 10 atmospheric pressure. So P1 is given as 10 atmospheric pressure, which is nothing but 10 bars, is supplied to a single rotor at the condenser pressure being 0.5 atmosphere. So exit is given, which is 0.5 atmospheric pressure. So therefore it will become 0.5 bars. With the nozzle efficiency of nozzle is specified as 0.94, that is 94%. So I missed one data, that is dry saturated steam at 10 atmospheric pressure supplied a single rotor impulse wheel. It is given as impulse wheel. So it is an impulse turbine. So therefore R is equal to 0. And nozzle angle at the rotor inlet alpha 1 is 18 degrees to the wheel plane. The rotor blades, which are running at a speed of 450 meters per second, that is U is given as 450, are equiangular. So therefore beta 1 is equal to beta 2. The coefficient of velocity for the rotor blades is 0.92, that is friction factor. K is 0.92, which is nothing but VR2 by VR1, because on the blades we consider relative component of absolute velocity. Find first one, specific work output, so that is power per kg of steam, rotor efficiency, efficiency of the blade, stage efficiency, efficiency of the stage, that is the product of blade efficiency and nozzle efficiency, axial thrust FA, and direction of steam, that is alpha 2. Direction is nothing but angle made by respective velocity. So exit velocity of steam is V2, angle made by V2 is alpha 2. So he is asked to calculate specific power output, blade efficiency, stage efficiency, axial thrust and direction of exit steam. So since he has given the pressure using HS diagram, that is Molear chart, I can find out the enthalpy difference. Then multiplying with the nozzle efficiency, I can calculate the velocity at the entrance. Let us use Molear chart and solve this problem. To solve this problem, I will be using thermodynamics data handbook written by B.T. Nijiguna and B.S. Samaga. So if I refer this data handbook, at last we have Molear chart, that is HS diagram for steam. If I take out and if I solve, we have Molear diagram. So in this Molear diagram, we know the pressure, the inlet pressure is 10 bars and it is dry saturated. So therefore, so here we have 10 bar pressure since it is dry saturated. So if I measure the enthalpy, the inlet enthalpy is 2780 kilojoules per kg. So at 10 bars dry saturated, if I measure, I am getting the enthalpy as H1 is equal to 2780 kilojoules per kg. Similarly, I should draw a vertical line for isentropic expansion for 0.5 bars. So if I draw a vertical line for 0.5 bar from the intersection and measuring horizontal, I will get the exit enthalpy as 2270 kilojoules per kg. So therefore, using Molear diagram, I have calculated the inlet and exit enthalpies, that is from Molear diagram it is HS chart of steam, which is provided by Nijiguna and Samaga thermodynamics data handbook. We had enthalpy versus entropy here we add kilojoules per kg, and we add a saturation line like this. So we have a pressure line which is at 10 bar, and we add a pressure line which is at 0.5 bar. Since the steam is dry saturated, I mark 0.1 and drop the perpendicular to intersect 0.5 and mark point as 2 dash. Now when I read from the data handbook, I found out that H1 and H2 dash, that is H1 is found out to be 2780 kilojoules per kg, and H2 dash is found to be 2270 kilojoules per kg. That is this point and this point. So now from steady state steady flow equation for nozzle, we already know the first T V1 is given by square root of 2 into isentropic enthalpy difference into nozzle efficiency into GC. So therefore, if I substitute, V1 will become 2 into delta H is 2780 minus 2270 into 10 power 3, because it is in kilojoules. 2780 minus 2270 into 10 to the power of 3 joules per kg into nozzle efficiency is 0.94 into 1. So therefore I will get the value of V1. So V1 will be square root of 2 into 2780 minus 2270 into 10 to the power of 3 into 0.94 into 1, which gives us V1 as 979.18 meter per second. So V1 is turning out to be 979.18 meter per second. This is how we should calculate V1 if he has given the inlet and exit pressures and nozzle efficiency. Use Moeller diagram and then conduct steady state steady flow analysis for nozzle, which I already explained in our lecture 1 of this module 3. So therefore I directly taken the formula, substitute the values what I got from Moeller chart and calculate the value of V1, which is turning out to be 979.18 meters per second. So once we know the value of V1, the rest of the procedure remains same. Let us solve this problem. Now let me fix the scale as 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meters per second. So fix the scale as 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meters per second. U will become 4.5 centimeters. So therefore first I lay down U. U is 4.5 centimeters given to us. So therefore I mark U, which is 4.5 centimeters. We know alpha 1, we know V1. Alpha 1 is 18 degrees, V1 is nearly equal to 980. So if I mark alpha 1, so alpha 1 will be 18 degrees. At 18 degrees, drop V1. V1 is 979, so therefore it will become 9.8 centimeters. So draw 9.8 centimeters at an angle of 18 degrees, that is to V1 at alpha 1. drawn V1 which is equal to 9.8 centimeters at an angle of alpha 1. Now if I complete the drawing, I will get from the peak of V1 joint till U, we will get VR1. So from there you draw perpendicular, that is vertical line, to get VF1. I got VF1 and also I constructed VR1 and VF1. Angle made by VR1 is beta 1. Now the blades are equiangular, beta 1 is equal to beta 2. So therefore, if I measure beta 1 is turning out to be 33 degrees. So mark 33 degrees for beta 2 also. And he has given the value of VR2 as 0.92 times VR1. So now we have beta 1, we got it as 33 degrees, which is equal to beta 2. Now VR2 is equal to K times VR1, which is nothing but 0.92 times VR1. So if I measure VR1, I am getting VR1 as 580 meters per second. So therefore VR2 is 0.92 into 580, which is turning out to be 534. Let us take it as 534 meters per second, which is nothing but 5.3 centimeters. Draw 5.3 centimeters at an angle of 33 degrees. Now if I draw perpendicular, so I am getting VU2 as negative. So I am getting a triangle like this. So this will become V2. So this is V2 and this is VF2. So now measure alpha 2. And this is, here we have beta 2. So this length will gives us VU1 and this length will gives us VU2. Now if I calculate all these values, I will get, let us mark this as O, A, B, C, D and E. So if I measure alpha 2, is turning out to be 88 degrees. Alpha 2 is turning out to be 88 degrees. Let us calculate one by one. You know already V1, now VR1, OB into scale Vf1 is equal to BC into scale Bu1 is equal to AC into scale VR2 is known to us, Vf2 is what required, then we want V2, then we want Vu2. Vf2 is dE into scale, V2 is AD into scale, Vu2 is AE into scale. So we know all the angles. Alpha 2 is 88 degrees we have calculated. So if I solve, I'll get OB as OB is equal to 5.8 into 100 is 580 meters per second. Vf1 is 350 meters per second. So it is 3.7, therefore it is 370 meters per second. Next we have Vu1. Vu1 is equal to 9.5 centimeters. So therefore Vu1 is equal to 950 meters per second. Vf2 is 3.4, therefore it is 340 meters per second. V2 is 250 meters per second, and Vu2 is minus 0.3, so therefore it is minus 30 meter per second. So this completes all the velocities and angles. Now let us calculate what is asked. First one is power per kg. So first one is power developed per kg. So power developed per kg is nothing but work done per kg, which is equal to U of Vu1 plus Vu2 by Gc. If I substitute and solve, I will get specific power output, that is m dot is equal to 1, specific m dot is equal to 1 into U is given for us 450 into Vu1 is 950 minus 30 whole divided by 1, which gives us the specific power output as 450 into 950 minus 30 and divided by 1000. So therefore specific power output will become 414 watts divided by mass flow rate is 1 kg per second. So this is for a mass flow rate of 1 kg per second. We have 414 kilowatts divided by 1000. So therefore it is in kilowatts. Very important. It is in kilowatts. Specific power output is 414 kilowatts per kg per second, because he has asked for specific power output, that is per kg of steam. Next, second one is blade efficiency. We know that blade efficiency is work done per kg divided by energy supplied per kg of steam. For impulse steam turbine, energy supplied is V1 square by 2 Gc. So therefore blade efficiency is 2 into U of delta Vu divided by V1 square. So blade efficiency is turning out to be 2 times, we know work done per kg as 414 into 10 power 3 divided by V1 is 979 square. Blade efficiency is 0.886, which is nothing but 86%. Next he has asked stage efficiency. Eta stage is equal to eta blade into eta nozzle. Eta blade is 0.86, eta nozzle is 0.94 given. So therefore stage efficiency is 81%, that is 0.812, which is equal to 81.2%. Next, axial thrust. Axial thrust m dot of Vf1 minus Vf2. M dot is specific. Vf1 is 370 minus Vf2 is 340. So axial thrust is 5, 6, 7, 30 newtons. 30 newtons per kg per second, specific. So finally, he has asked direction of steam at exit, which is 88 degrees. So this is the solution for problem number 3, wherein which we have conducted analysis of nozzle, with which we have calculated the absolute velocity of steam entering the rotor, and then we applied our usual procedure to calculate the quantities of interest. The solutions are: specific power output is 414 kilowatts per kg per second, blade efficiency is 86%, stage efficiency is 81%, axial thrust is 30 newtons per kg per second, and direction of exit steam is 88 degrees. So this completes our analysis of single stage steam turbines. From next lecture, I will be addressing